Welcome back. I'd like to thank you all for tuning back in. I really appreciate it. I hope you've been enjoying the content. If you have, do me a favor and just hit the subscribe button and let's get on with the video. So I thought I'd provide a little bit of balance today. The last video was on body positivity. I've linked it in the description just in case you've missed it. And I thought I'd just provide a little bit of balance today because somebody made a comment. They were wrong. No, I'm joking. They weren't wrong. I'm fine with it. I'm fine.
Who else is fine?
Okay, I might have overdone that one. So let's have a little... Love that scene. With that in mind, let's pivot and provide a little bit of balance. So today I'm going to talk about what they say in the body positivity movement versus what they say in the fitness and health movement, and why this side here, the body positive movement, some sections of it think this side is so bad and demonizing. Let's explore it. Body positive movement, a lady called Virgie Tovar. I'm sure you've all heard of her. She worked for San Francisco as a health advisor. And her advice was basically to get people to accept people for the way they are. Great, totally believe that. But the problem with her is again, she was trying to get spaces to accommodate for people who are grossly overweight, trying to get people to accommodate their behaviors just because someone around them might feel somewhat offended. And then push this narrative again that being overweight isn't bad for you and losing weight is somehow the thing that is. Here's just some of the stuff that she said.
In a larger body, and also I'm an adult in a larger body, and the message I always got from my doctor was shrink your body by any means necessary. And it really felt like there was a sense of a don't ask, don't tell. So because I truly believed, right, and this is where I think the surprise comes in, I really believed that this was about my health.
Yep, he was right. Should have listened.
I really believed that my doctor was right, because why would I believe anything?
He was definitely trying to look after your health. Now, I'm not saying all the health reasons that you possibly could have are because you're overweight, but you're pretty overweight. So there's probably a lot of things about your health that drive from you being overweight. I don't know, just saying. Let's check out some more stuff.
As women make $9,000 to $19,000 less per year, and it's legal.
All right, there's got to be more reasons than being an overweight woman as to why people get paid less, right?
There's also well-documented medical discrimination. There's all different ways that fat phobia manifests.
I mean, are people who are overweight just get more time off? Do they need more time off? I mean, if you're as overweight as she is, I mean, can you work at the same capacity as everybody else? I mean, I don't know. I've never been overweight, so I couldn't answer that question for you. But I would look at someone who is very overweight and think to myself, are they tired? Is their productivity good? If they're doing a physical job, can they do it as well? You know, so maybe they're not working enough hours, or maybe they take more time off because they feel unwell or tired. I don't know. You know, there's got to be more to it than, oh, they're overweight, so I'll pay them less. I'm sure that's not what's happening.
Like, you can be overtly fired for your weight.
I'm not sure that's legal. I mean, I'm not sure paying someone differently just because that is discrimination. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it is legal, but I'm not sure that it is. I mean, if you could prove that you got fired just because you were fat, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe it's just really hard to prove.
If you're like many women, you've been to a birthday party or a small office gathering.
I'm sure parties are just restricted to women, but let's hear her out on this one.
An event that's meant to bring people together. There's swinging tunes, some adult beverages, and good convo. And then it comes time to cut the cake. And someone decides to ruin everything.
Who could it be? Could it be the drunk guy that had too many adult beverages?
Oh my God, that slice is huge. That slice is bigger than Beyonce's paycheck. Can you cut me half of that?
A cake-related fat-phobic incident, or CRFI, is that moment when it's time to eat delicious cake and it's interrupted by a moralizing impulse. Inevitably, there's always someone at the party who has to declare publicly that their slice is too large.
Oh, I see, just the person who wants a smaller piece of cake. How awful.
And that the person who's cutting the cake, almost invariably a woman, must do some disproportionate amount of labor in order to accommodate their need to feel superior.
I mean, I'm not sure it's a disproportionate amount of work to just go, oh, I don't want that, just move. All you're doing is like, can I have a smaller bit? Yeah, all right. You know, it's not a disproportionate amount of work. And I mean, I've been to parties where there's cake and most of the time cake is just left on the table. But there's not usually a lady that I am the cake with. it's usually buffet style, right? You don't they form a queue and then it's one person with a knife. I'm pretty sure people are like, oh, we'll pre-cut the cake. Yeah, we'll pre-cut the cake. We'll pre-cut the cake for efficiency, so that we don't have to cut the cake as we go along. Should we? Maybe they go, I'll cut it different sizes because there might be someone who wants a smaller piece, and there might be someone who's offended by someone who wants a smaller piece. So we don't want that. Not in my party. Not here.
Take a look. Can you do a little bit, just like, can you like scrape all the frosting off and cut it in half and give me 2 forks, because I'm sharing. Small, like a little bit more, like tiny, no, like less.
Watch how this woman demonstrates a different way to engage with cake. Thank you. No, thank you. Practice just taking the cake slice you're given, or simply saying no thanks.
Hold on. So what? See, this is where it gets fucked up, right? You're telling me that you can either have the slice allocated to you because it's such a what first reason it's a disproportionate amount of work for the cutter to go, oh fuck it, oh no, I can't move it that way to cut less. It's a disproportionate amount of work for that person who's usually a woman, according to this lady here. But also because it makes other people feel bad, people who are overweight, it might make them feel bad. Probably most of overweight people that are in a party won't feel bad, but some might. So just in case those people feel bad, you either can have cake at the allocated size that everyone's given, or you can't have cake at all. Is that the options for people who want to control the amount of food that they eat? It's like, oh no. You either have some or not at all. Okay, that's the rule, because I don't want to have to eat more than you. You have no fucking right to control how much someone eats. You have some or not at all. It's your party. If it's your party, they've got to just tell them to leave. But if it's not your party, you have absolutely... I'm offended because you ate slightly less. Either eat all the cake or none of it. That's your options. But you can go for seconds. You can go for seconds and maybe thirds, fourths and fifths, right? If that same person was to go to you, you can only have the one piece. You can't go up for second helpings even if they're offering it. You know, because it makes me feel... It doesn't work that way around, does it? But it's the same thing. I mean, and this is where it annoys me. It's like, it's not up to a different individual to behave a certain way that's totally indirect to you. It's got nothing to do with you, but just because it might make you feel bad, they have to adjust their behavior for you. That's fucking ridiculous. Like the 2 seats in the plane thing. You know, certain companies were starting to allocate 2 seats for people who are really overweight. And if you need 2 seats, you're pretty fucking overweight. You're not just a tiny bit overweight. You're pretty fucking overweight at that point. And they get 2 seats for the price of 1 seat, meaning that someone misses out on the seat, but also you pay less when everyone else would have otherwise had to pay for 2. It's fucking mental.
Oh, it's sweet, isn't it? Too rich.
So rich.
I prefer a flan.
But I promised balance. So let's look at the other side. She turns around and she says, the fitness industry have lots of toxic messaging, okay? So why don't we have a look at what that toxic messaging is? So they cite stuff like focusing on appearance above health. All right, I can buy into this one a little bit, okay? So focusing on appearance and not health can lead to problems, okay? Most of the time it doesn't though. Most of the time the aesthetics is very small. I mean, if we look at the extremities of the fitness industry, then of course there's going to be problems. But for the most part, people just want to look a bit better, feel a bit better. And I typically find that their mental health gets better. I mean, I work in this industry and I've seen it firsthand that people are different people when they lose weight, especially when they've been trying to for a long time and finally become successful. They don't end up feeling horrible. They don't end up feeling bad about themselves. They end up feeling the opposite. Their mental health typically improves. Talk about shaming into motivation. I don't think that really happens anymore. It might happen in small circles, but generally the fitness industry are very encouraging to their clients and their peers. An all or nothing mentality, that is definitely a thing that happens in the fitness industry. Definitely, I totally agree with that one. It definitely is something that we try to address, this idea that you either do it all and get the best results, or you just fall off and this is where yo-yoing happens with weight. And I totally agree with this one actually. And then they say that highlighting certain types of diets and workouts, like fatty things. And again, I agree with this one. This isn't wrong, but I think the industry is getting better with this. I think wholly people do focus on balance, a balanced lifestyle. balanced eating and a balanced amount of training so that you're not overdoing it. I think these things are being addressed, but they definitely do exist. But let's look at what the actual messaging that most of the fitness industry is doing.
What losing weight does to your body and brain. During the first week, you may find it easy to lose weight by simply switching to a healthier diet. But as your metabolism adjusts, you won't burn as many calories as you used to. So losing additional weight will become harder.
Okay, so this is the point where most people put their weight back on, right? So once they get to a certain point, they start to diet at the beginning, and then they start to feel really hungry. And at that point is kind of the danger point. At that point is when you could easily fall off and start putting more and more weight back on.
Brain scans of obese patients who had lost 10% of their body weight revealed less leptin leads to increased activity in regions of the brain that control our desire to eat.
So if you get to about 9 months, those cravings start to significantly decrease, which means that you're much more likely to keep the weight off.
That people who lost weight and kept it off for 9 months reacted differently when shown images of high-calorie foods than before they lost the weight.
So a lot of the body positive industry will say that you're much more likely to put more weight on after you diet. Now they hold off a very big and very important piece of information, is that once you get to a certain weight, you just can't hold the calorie deficit anymore. There's this yo-yo effect of bang, I'm just going to open the floodgates and eat as much as I can. And it's that puts the weight back on. Now, what we're saying here is if you go past the point of a certain amount of time, typically 9 months, that then changes. Your attitude towards that type of food changes and you're much more likely to keep the weight off. The context is always fucking important here, okay?
Scientists studying overweight people discovered that losing just 1 pound of body weight reduces 4 pounds of pressure on knee joints.
Remember the knee pain, doctor?
It's a common misconception that knee pain is caused by being fat.
You're hard, showing off.
Losing excess weight also reduces strain on the blood vessels, increases blood flow to the brain, and boosts overall brain function. Several studies have shown that people who underwent weight loss surgery saw an improvement in memory, concentration, and problem-solving skills in as soon as 3 months. Plus, brain scans indicate.
So again, proven to help with brain health, with brain function. So going back to what was said earlier about people being overweight, discriminated against at work, being paid less, well, maybe it's because they're not there as much, maybe because they're not working to quite the same capacity, especially if they're getting things like brain fog. I'm not saying that's the case. I don't fucking know at the end of the day, but it does point in all these directions. So my opinion, and it is an opinion based on a lot of things that I've been looking at and reading, for sure, but my opinion is that yes, there is some toxic stuff that goes on in the fitness side of things, for sure, and to deny that would be wrong. But I would say that the biggest messaging from the fitness and health world to benefit the individual that they're working with. So the person in front of them, they're trying to make that person feel better. Do they make some money off it? Of course they do. We all need to earn a living. Do we need to be positive about people's bodies? Of course we do. We don't want to tell people that they're horrible people for being overweight. But also, we shouldn't have to fucking accommodate our behaviors just because someone might feel bad. If you feel bad about something, change it. I know it's hard, but change it. There's loads of people that do. And I've not met one person. I've been working in this industry for nearly 20 years. I've not met one person who's lost weight and gone, do you know, I really regret that. You know, I really feel unhappy now that I've lost weight. They seem to be mentally happier. They move more. They're more active with their family. They go out walking. They do things that they otherwise couldn't have done. So I can't see how it's a bad thing. That's what I think, but what do I know? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and I'll see you next time. And please don't forget to subscribe.